guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another what's sold on Poshmark and eBay video. So if you want to check out all the items I sold during this 2-week period, definitely keep on watching. For those of you who might be new here, thanks so much for checking this out. I'm a full-time working mom, but in my spare time I really like making these videos on fashion, beauty, mommy lifestyle, in addition to my reselling experience as a part-time reseller as well. So if that kind of thing sounds at all interesting to you, please consider checking out my other videos linked down below, and please also consider subscribing as well. That'll really help me out too. Okay, so for today, again, I'm going to go through what's sold on Poshmark and eBay during a 2-week period. And during these 2 weeks, I would say it was pretty consistent sales. Overall, my sales are definitely still down compared to earlier in the year, but I'm still thankful for every single sale, and I'm going to take you through every single one. So because I'm a part-time reseller, I'll say very part-time, I'm able to share with you every single sale I make during this 2-week period because, in my opinion at least, I think there's a little bit to learn from every single sale you make for whatever reason. So I think it's kind of helpful to see those things. I will also share with you my take-home earnings from Poshmark, minus any Poshmark fees, in addition to any shipping discounts. I do not share my cost of goods in these particular videos, but I do share that kind of information in my haul videos. So I've linked all of those down below too. Also, if you're new to Poshmark and decide to make your first purchase, you can save $10 by using my referral code. It's MODMOMMD. That's MODMOMMD. And when you sign on, put in that code and make your first purchase, you will save $10. I also get a little kickback as well, which I will use for future Poshmark purchases too. So it's a win-win for both of us. So definitely consider using my referral code. So for this video, I'm going to be taking you through all of my sales for the weeks of August 23rd and August 30th. I have sales on both Poshmark and eBay during this period, which is really exciting for me, so I will share all of them with you. I'm going to go ahead and just start with Poshmark. So the first item that I sold during this 2-week period on Poshmark was this really cool pair of Levi's. It was a Levi's 710 super skinny maroon jean in a size 26. So the color was pretty unique. I wasn't sure how this would do, but I got it for a pretty good price. I figured I'd just give it a shot. I think that Levi's is generally a bread and butter brand where people always are kind of searching for it. It usually does not resell for a whole lot of money, however, but if you can get it for a decent price point, I think they're always worthwhile picking up if it's in good condition. So this particular pair of jeans, I did accept a best offer of $23. Poshmark fees are $4.60. So my net earnings were $18.40 on these pair of jeans. Next up, I sold another pair of Levi's, ironically. So this is a pair of vintage Levi's though. It was the 560 cutoff high-rise jean shorts, and these were made into jean shorts, but this was a vintage Levi's jean that was used for it. So vintage Levi's in particular does really well. I'm not great at figuring out vintage or what to buy for vintage, but I knew when I saw these shorts that these would do well based on style alone, and then I realized these were actually a vintage pair, which is extra cool. And it was high rise, of course, and just a great style. So this pair of jeans was in a size 10. However, when you're buying vintage, especially in Levi's, the sizing is a little bit off. So it was a size 10 vintage, but it actually measures in more conventional modern sizing as a smaller size. So it was important to really highlight that it's a vintage sizing, and I gave specific measurements so that somebody could really adjust accordingly. But it was a size 10 in the vintage sizing. Otherwise, it was in great condition, and this particular pair of shorts did not take very long to sell at all in my closet. I did decide to accept a best offer of $40. Poshmark fees were $8, so my net earnings were $32 on this really cool pair of shorts. So absolutely, Levi's is a great brand to look for, especially if it's vintage. I mean, there's no question you can consider picking it up. The next item was a Life is Good item. It was a Crush Your V-Neck Beach Book t-shirt. It was new with tags. It was in a size medium. So this is a pretty classic kind of Life is Good type of design. They make really feel-good products, really inspirational messages on them. So I've had pretty good experience selling Life is Good items. Overall, it does not resell for a huge price point just because the initial retail price isn't all that high. But I think there's definitely a following for it even on Poshmark. So this particular shirt was pretty cool. It said "Get Lost, Get Found" on the front. It had this book with kind of this vacation beach theme on the front. So I thought for the right person this would be really cool. It was a V-neck design, pretty classic t-shirt style. So this particular shirt sold for $14. Poshmark fees are $2.95, and my net earnings were $11.05 on this shirt. So again, not a huge price point, but I think it's very consistent sellers. If you can get it for a decent price point, I think it's really worthwhile picking up. There really is a following for Life is Good items. The next item I was super happy to see move along in my closet because I've had this for probably a year and a half now, and it's this Avenue LA graphic t-shirt new at tags in a size medium. So this shirt actually may be the OG in my closet because I believe I probably picked this up the very first time I ever went sourcing for my Poshmark closet out at the thrift store. And I picked it up because I thought the design was kind of neat, and more importantly, I saw that it had a tag on it. So I said, okay, new with tags, that's gonna do well, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna pick this up, no question. So I was super excited to find a new with tag item, my first ever sourcing expedition. And of course, I had no idea that I need to really check comps, really think about items I pick up. Just any new tag is not so great necessarily. So I definitely learned that lesson. So I sat on this for a year and a half. I just could not move it along. It was just sitting in my closet. Ultimately, I was super happy that someone bought it for $10. My Poshmark fees were $2.95, and my earnings were $7.05 on the shirt. So I made a few dollars off of it, which was a total mistake. I would not advise this going forward. But I think this item also shows you, ironically, that any item you have, potentially, you can find the right buyer for. Sometimes you have to sit on it for a while, but there is going to be a perfect buyer that will come along most times. I still do not advise this though, because I had to sit on this for a year and a half, and I have no idea how many times I shared this item, so it's definitely not worthwhile in terms of the investment. But there always is somebody out there that probably will like your item, which is kind of cool to think about. So very happy this moved along after a year and a half. So the next item that sold was the Seychelles mixed media leather mini wedges. This was a pretty cool style. It was a size 6, and it had kind of a mixed media print. It had some suede, kind of maroon burgundy in the front. It had an ankle strap, and it had this tiger print type of calf hair on the back heel part. It was a flat style design, as you could see here. It was unused. Just really cool shoe, I thought. I think Seychelles, as I've said before on this channel, does pretty well for me. I know it's sold at Anthropologie and other places, and I think there's a following for Seychelles. It's a pretty consistent seller for me. It definitely gets a lot of attention, at least, that's for sure. So this particular pair of shoes sold for $35. Poshmark fees were $7, and my net earnings are $28 on these really cool pair of shoes. The next item was a pair of shoes from Haan. So it was a Haan Tolly leather Nike Air wedges in a size 9C, so that's a wide. And I ultimately sold this for, I believe, full asking price or close to it of $50. Poshmark fees were $10, and my net earnings were $40. So Haan, I think, is a pretty good brand to look out for. I don't think personally that's selling for me as well as it did in years past, but it's a pretty consistent seller, and this item really was essentially unused. It's a really classic style of wedges, and they partnered, of course, with Nike, so their Nike Air technology is in a lot of their shoes, so they're very comfortable as well. So I think people like it for that reason too. This particular shoe I did haul from a ThredUp rescue unboxing of shoes, which I will link down below in case you're curious. So I really love selling these ThredUp rescue box shoes. I think overall I've had pretty good experience in terms of the items that I receive, and pretty good experience in terms of selling them. So this is another example of it, but I was really happy this moved along, and pretty quickly. I'd say over maybe a few months or so. So next item was another pair of shoes. It was a designer label. It was Salvatore Ferragamo black suede leather pumps in a size 8.5. So this pair of shoes, I thought the design was super cool. There was definitely some wear on it though, which I disclosed, but it wasn't bad. And look at the style. I thought it was super cute. It's a slip-on type of pump, but it has a really nice kind of strappy elasticized detail on the vamp part, which I thought was really cool. Very classic style. They kind of look like dancing shoes to me, but I thought they were just a really nice classic design from a designer label, which was pretty neat. And ultimately, I did sell this for $40. Poshmark fees were $8, and my net earnings are $32 on these pair of shoes. So even though there was a decent amount of wear, I'd say, on this, I think if it's a designer label, it's definitely worthwhile considering picking designer labels up, because the price points start off so high. I think there's always kind of a market for it, even if there's a decent amount of wear on them. So this particular pair of shoes was a great example of that. The next item was one of my favorites of this period, and it was this beautiful Tory Burch Amalia linen floral pleated dress in a size 4, as you can see here. It was in excellent condition, I'd say even like new. Just a gorgeous design, linen blend. When I saw it, I said for sure I'm going to pick this up. It's just gorgeous. I did sit on it a little longer than I thought. I've had this for definitely a few months now, and I thought it would move a little quicker, but nonetheless I was happy it moved along. And as you can see here, just amazing, beautiful floral dress. So this particular item, I did accept a best offer of $80 for. Poshmark fees are $16, and my net earnings were $64. So I made a pretty good profit on this dress. Again, Tory Burch obviously is a brand that people are searching for, so one that I always consider picking up if I find it in good condition. I find it a decent amount, I would say, and I'm always excited when I do. So this particular dress was another great example of that. Alright, so for this period I just have one final Poshmark sale, and this is a pair of Good American jeans. It's the Good American Good Waist athletic striped jean in a size 31. So this is my first pair of good American jeans I have ever found out when I was sourcing, and I was super excited to find it. I'll link that haul down below. And good American jeans, I think now is one brand to definitely add to your BOLO list. There are several more higher end brands of jeans I think that I'm always looking for, but I'm going to add good American to the list because I think this pair of jeans got a decent amount of attention. I think people are definitely searching for them. They make great quality jeans. Just by feeling this jean, you could tell it was amazing quality. So I think good American jeans is definitely a brand to look out for. And this particular style was unique. It had the unfinished hemline, which I always really like personally, and it had this athletic stripe down the side. So this pair of jeans sat in my closet, I'd say again, for another few months, but it ultimately sold for a best offer of $62. Poshmark fees are $12.40, and my net earnings were $49.50. So again, this is a pretty good profit margin for me on these pair of jeans. Definitely a brand to look out for. I don't really find it, at least around here, very often though, so when I do, I get super excited. But it's one that I think is definitely not as saturated as some other jean brands out there. And now as we're moving more into fall, I think jeans, at least in my closet, have been getting more attention recently. So jeans is definitely something to kind of focus on, I'd say, even more in the fall than potentially other months. So definitely keep your eye out for really great quality jeans out there. Okay, so those are all my Poshmark sales, and I did have 2 eBay sales. So as I said in 2 videos back, I recently started an eBay store, and I combined it with my husband just because his account had a lot of great feedback. In fact, he still has 100% positive feedback, which is amazing. He's sold on eBay just sporadically for years, so he's kind of amassed a pretty good following or feedbacks. So I decided to kind of jump on his bandwagon, and I wanted to go and kind of combine my items with his. So we decided to actually purchase a store, and I listed some items on there. I have nowhere near as many items on there yet that I have on Poshmark, but I'm trying to play around with a couple of brands on there and kind of figure out how eBay may work for me. So far, you know, to be honest, I'm not that thrilled with my success on eBay. Of course, I just started maybe a month or so ago, but I mean, I've had a few sales trickle in. It hasn't been totally great for me, but I'm going to give it some more time and see how it goes. But in this 2-week period, I did sell 2 items on eBay, which I was excited about. And in terms of the amount of profit you get from either, on eBay, if you sell on eBay, it's a little bit more profitable just because the fees are lower, but we do have PayPal fees. If it's an international buyer, I believe there's some fees tacked on. So really, it's almost a wash compared to Poshmark, but maybe there's a little bit more in terms of a profit on eBay. The tricky thing is you have to really figure out shipping on eBay, because sometimes I will charge a certain amount for shipping, and my shipping actually costs more than that. So that's kind of where you take a little bit of a loss. So the first item I sold on eBay was this really cool pair of pants. It's from Jam's World. It was size extra large in a really pristine white color, and I did haul this in my Southern California haul, which I linked down below. And I had heard a lot from a lot of YouTube videos and elsewhere that Jam's World can do pretty well, especially on eBay. So Jam's World is a brand that I suspected might do better on eBay just because of who's looking for it out there, and you just get a wider market on eBay of general buyers looking out there. In terms of Poshmark, my sense, of course, is that people look on Poshmark if they're maybe more into style, fashion-conscious type of brands, more trendier brands. But eBay, you get just a wider market looking for all kinds of brands. So I thought Jam's World might do better on eBay, so I wanted to list that as one of my earlier items on eBay. And sure enough, that theory kind of held true. I did sell the Jam's World item on eBay, and it had been sitting in my closet in Poshmark for probably 3 or 4 months and hadn't sold. So I think that's a brand that may do better on eBay. It's the first time I ever found this brand, the first time I ever sold it, but I was very excited to find it because I heard that it potentially could do well and has a pretty good following. So this brand is made in Hawaii, and I'm actually originally from Hawaii, which I've said before, so it actually has a special place in my heart, and I definitely was familiar with the brand. I just wasn't sure how well it would resell, but I think it's definitely a brand to look out there for, especially if you're selling on eBay. So ultimately, I was excited to sell this pair of Jam's World white pants for a best offer of $25. So after all the eBay fees, which I don't have calculated in front of me right now, and the shipping, everything, all things considered, ultimately my profit was about what I would have made on Poshmark. So I would have made 80% of that, which is a pretty good profit margin for me for these pair of pants. So definitely something to keep your eye out for. And the second item that sold on eBay during this period was one of my favorites as well. It was a Henri Bendel crossbody or mini crossbody purse, I'd say, even a cell phone purse, I believe. And it sold for a best offer of $65 after all the fees as well. Again, it's pretty close to what I would have made on Poshmark, which is 80% of that. So this particular purse I did haul in my ThredUp handbag unboxes, which is linked down below. So definitely consider checking that out because that particular haul, I was pretty successful. I've sold most of the items from that haul so far, and this was one of the favorites actually. So as you probably know, Henri Bendel is no longer in mass retail anymore. I believe their store is closed. So even more so, I think the true Henri Bendel followers are searching for these items. So if you see this brand out there, I think it's something to definitely consider picking up. I personally have several items in the line and I just love them, and I will not get rid of them now because I know you can't get them that easily. So this is a really cool purse for that reason. I had it listed both on Poshmark and eBay. I had a pretty decent amount of interest on both platforms, but ultimately it did sell on eBay, which I was happy about. So two pretty solid eBay sales, I'll say. I really hope my eBay sales can ramp up as I move forward, but I will definitely keep you posted all along the way. Okay, so that does it. Those are my 2 weeks of sales. So okay for me, again, during this period, compared to where I was earlier in the year, pre-pandemic, things overall is not as great just because I just haven't had as much time to invest in my Poshmark and eBay businesses just because there are so many other things going on my plate than I had before. I'm sure that's true for a lot of you as well, but I'm hoping as we can pull out of this pandemic, we're able to kind of get back into our normal lives and things will kind of get back to how they used to be. But nonetheless, I'm so thankful and happy that I do have these reselling platforms in addition to this YouTube channel to kind of keep my mind off of things and as a fun hobby as we're getting through these really tough times. So I hope you guys are doing well, and if you have any awesome sales you want to share, please let me know down below. I'm always curious to see what brands are hot and moving for people these days. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching another video, and I'll plan to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.